Hi, I'm Aisha. You are watching Educational Hub. A literature review is a survey of scholarly sources in a specific topic. It provides an overview of current knowledge, allowing you to identify relevant theories, methods, and gaps in the existing research. A good literature review doesn't just summarize sources, it analyzes, synthesizes, and critically evaluates to give a clear picture of the state of knowledge on the subject. Writing a literature review involves finding relevant publications, such as books and journal articles, critically analyzing them, and explaining what you found. There are 5 key steps. Search for relevant literature. Evaluate sources. Identify themes, debates, and gaps. Outline the structure. Write your literature review. First, we need to understand that. What is literature review? A literature review is a survey of scholarly sources, such as books, journal articles, and theses related to a specific topic or research question. It is often written as part of a thesis, dissertation, or research paper, in order to situate your work in relation to existing knowledge. Why we write a literature review? When you write a thesis, dissertation, or research paper, you will have to conduct a literature review to situate your research within existing knowledge. The literature review gives you a chance to demonstrate your familiarity with the topic and scholarly context. Develop a theoretical framework and methodology for your research. Position yourself in relation to other researchers and theorists. Show how your research addresses a gap or contributes to a debate. You might also have to write a literature review as a standalone assignment. In this case, the purpose is to evaluate the current state of research and demonstrate your knowledge of scholarly debates around a topic. Follows the same steps. Step 1. Search for relevant literature. Before you begin searching for literature, you need a clearly defined topic. If you are writing the literature review section of a dissertation or research paper, you will search for literature related to your research problem and questions. If you are writing a literature review as a standalone assignment, you will have to choose a focus and develop a central question to direct your search. Unlike a dissertation research question, this question has to be answerable without collecting original data. You should be able to answer it based only on a review of existing publications. For example, research question is, what is the impact of social media on body image among Generation Z? Then we make a list of keywords. Include each of the key concepts or variables you're interested in, and list any synonyms and related terms. You can add to this list if you discover new keywords in the process of your literature search. For example, social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok. Body image, self-perception, self-esteem, mental health. Generation Z, teenagers, adolescents, youth. Use your keywords to begin searching for sources. Some useful databases to search for journals and articles include your university's library catalog, Google Scholar, JSTOR, EBSCO, Project Muse, Humanities and Social Sciences, Medline, Life Sciences and Biomedicine, Econlit, Economics, Inspec, Physics, Engineering and Computer Science.
Step 2. Evaluate and select sources. You probably won't be able to read absolutely everything that has been written on the topic. You'll have to evaluate which sources are most relevant to your questions. For each publication, ask yourself, what question or problem is the author addressing? What are the key concepts and how are they defined? What are the key theories, models and methods? Does the research use established frameworks or take an innovative approach? What are the results and conclusions of the study? How does the publication relate to other literature in the field? Does it confirm, add to, or challenge established knowledge? How does the publication contribute to your understanding of the topic? What are its key insights and arguments? What are the strengths and weaknesses of the research?
Step 3. Identify themes, debates, and gaps. To begin organizing your literature review's argument and structure, you need to understand the connections and relationships between the sources you've read. Based on your reading and notes, you can look for trends and patterns in theory, method, or results. Do certain approaches become more or less popular over time? Themes. What questions or concepts recur across the literature? Debates, conflicts and contradictions. Where do sources disagree? Pivotal publications. Are there any influential theories or studies that change the direction of the field? Gaps. What is missing from the literature? Are there weaknesses that need to be addressed?
This step will help you work out the structure of your literature review and, if applicable, show how your own research will contribute to existing knowledge. Example of trends and gaps. In reviewing the literature on social media and body image, you note that most research has focused on young women. There is an increasing interest in the visual aspects of social media, but there is still a lack of robust research on highly visual platforms like Instagram and Snapchat. This is a gap that you could address in your own research.
Step 4. Outline your literature review's structure. There are various approaches to organizing the body of a literature review. You should have a rough idea of your strategy before you start writing. Depending on the length of your literature review, you can combine several of these strategies. For example, your overall structure might be thematic, but each theme is discussed chronologically. Chronological. The simplest approach is to trace the development of the topic over time. However, if you choose this strategy, be careful to avoid simply listing and summarizing sources in order. Try to analyze patterns, turning points and key debates that have shaped the direction of the field. Give your interpretation of how and why certain developments occurred. Thematic. If you have found some recurring central themes, you can organize your literature review into subsections that address different aspects of the topic. For example, if you are reviewing literature about inequalities in migrant health outcomes, key themes might include healthcare policy, language barriers, cultural attitudes, legal status, and economic access. Methodological. If you draw your sources from different disciplines or fields that use a variety of research methods, you might want to compare the results and conclusions that emerge from different approaches. For example, look at what results have emerged in qualitative versus quantitative research. Discuss how the topic has been approached by empirical versus theoretical scholarship. Divide the literature into sociological, historical, and cultural sources. Theoretical. A literature review is often the foundation for a theoretical framework. You can use it to discuss various theories, models, and definitions of key concepts. You might argue for the relevance of a specific theoretical approach, or combine various theoretical concepts to create a framework for your research. Step 5. Write your literature review. Like any other academic text, your literature review should have an introduction, a main body, and a conclusion. What you include in each depends on the objective of your literature review. Introduction. The introduction should clearly establish the focus and purpose of the literature review. Body. Depending on the length of your literature review, you might want to divide the body into subsections. You can use a subheading for each theme, time period, or methodological approach. As you write, you can follow these tips. Summarize and synthesize. Give an overview of the main points of each source and combine them into a coherent whole. Analyze and interpret. Don't just paraphrase other researchers. Add your own interpretations where possible, discussing the significance of findings in relation to the literature as a whole. Critically evaluate. Mention the strengths and weaknesses of your sources. Write in well-structured paragraphs. Use transition words and topic sentences to draw connections, comparisons and contrasts. Conclusion. In the conclusion, you should summarize the key findings you have taken from the literature and emphasize their significance.
Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe my channel for more informative videos about research.